Hello everyone, this new recording about the news and updates about Flow. This is a new video and this update was dropped yesterday, 13th of November, and right now it's 14th of November. So we're going to look into this update. There are a lot of things into this update, especially for Supabase users. So if you're a Supabase user, that is actually a very good update, and also a bad one because you need to update some custom code if you're using Supabase as a custom code. But we're going through all the new changes and breaking changes as well together, so don't worry about it. And before we start it again, of course, as always, I just want to say thank you very much for all the people that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for that. If you consider to be a Fanatic member, you'll have access to 30 plus videos that are only for my paid members. And if you consider to be even a paid member, doesn't really matter the tier, you actually are supporting the channel and you will get access to all my live shows that I do, which is news and updates, and I have guests like yesterday, for example. I did a live show and Ezam was with me. Thank you, Ezam, for that. Sometimes Josh is coming, so and Daniel as well. So stay tuned. There are a lot of exciting things. This is I'm trying to do it every Wednesday, so you have access to the archive of all the live shows that I did. Thank you for that. And yeah, so let's actually jump into this update. So what we can say about the first news. So the first news is super exciting. It's about Supabase package upgrade, and they say we're upgraded Supabase package from Flow. This is the actual package. So if you consider knowing what package they're using the official package, of course, and they say from version 1.10.24 to version 2.6.0. So actually the current version is 2.8.0, so they are not updating to the latest version. But fun fact, actually, you can, I don't know if you know that, but you can actually go to settings and you can go to dependencies. There's a search over here, so you can just write dependencies which are not environment dependencies but the project dependencies. And if you scroll down over here, you should be able to see Supabase. I'm trying to find Supabase, but for some reason I'm not finding it. It should be over here. That's the idea. Flow tab. I'm not sure if I can search here. Yeah, for some reason I'm not finding it. But what I wanted to say is that if you want, you can also overwrite the dependency using that technique over here. So if I just click add, it's supposed to add the Supabase dependencies, and it's supposed to override it to the latest version. Now again, I don't see it for some reason over here, which is a little bit weird, and I didn't get any error as well. So let me actually check. Maybe there's because there is a space over here. I'm not really sure why this is not working. I haven't done it from over here. I'm always doing it from over here. So let's actually try the old-fashioned way. Let's actually do it from over here and see if I'm getting any error. So if I click on that, that's supposed to do Flutter pub. Yeah, exactly. So you can actually see it now. You can see it. Maybe I had to actually open it again, but yeah, you can actually see this is the way how you can overwrite to the latest version, which is great. Which is actually great. This update will make it easier for us to support the latest Supabase capabilities for the Flow platform and provide you the option to incorporate new features through custom code. Please note, moving to Supabase 2 includes several breaking changes to ease the transmissions. You can continue using the previous version of Supabase Flutter for the next 4 weeks. So that is super important. You have 4 weeks in order to test and make all the tests that you can do using your project, and they recommend to use local run. We're going to that part of the text. If this applies to you, you see an option to upgrade by toggling off use Supabase version 1 in the Supabase page. What that means is that if I write over here Supabase, and that means if I go over here, that means I should be able to just disable that option. And when I disable that option, that means that I'm going to now run Supabase version 2, and if I go over here, you can still see it's version 2. I'm not sure for whatever reason I don't see the actual version over here. What if I go to the code? So if I go to the code and go to the spec.yaml file, you can actually see it over here. This is the latest version. What if I don't want to use the latest version? What if I want to delete this part over here? So let's actually go over here. Yeah, you don't see it over here in the custom code anymore. And if I go to the view code and go to specs, you don't see, for some reason you don't see it over here. You're supposed to see it, to be honest. You're supposed to be able to see it. Maybe I'm not looking at the right yeah, you're supposed to see it. I'm not really sure what is going on over here. Okay, so like I said, if you want to move to version 2, when you're ready, when you're done testing, just disable that option over here, like I did. Great. And however, in the 4 weeks from now, all for the Flow project will use version 2.6. This means that if any custom code using version 1, your project likely will have errors when this change goes into effect. Also note that you will not be able to use test mode while you stay on version 1. Instead, we recommend using local run. I also recommend you to actually use local run, to be honest, as well. It is much better. Just set it up. It will take you like maybe a couple of hours, 1-2 hours, in order to set up local run. But it's worth it. It will save you a couple of hundred of hours instead of using test mode. I switched to local run since they launched it, and to be honest, I barely remember that there is test mode now. So you also not have access to the new Supabase features until you toggle off Supabase version 1, which is self-explanatory because you're using version 1. You can see Supabase migration guide for help, so you can actually go over here and you can actually see specific code, so you can see how it was before, how it is now. And if you are using custom code, this is very important. And it's a lot of code, actually. It's a lot of code, but you can actually copy everything, Control-A, copy everything, go to any of your favorite AI and just paste that in, paste the code that you have currently in Flow and ask it to make it to version 2. It's as simple as that. Now we're living in a modern era. It's 2024, almost 2025. So this should be an easy task. So that was actually update number 1. The second update is Supabase streaming queries. You can now enable real-time streaming for your Supabase queries. To be honest, you was able to do that before that. I actually showed you a video about that in my in my YouTube channel. There's a video how you can use a real-time database even with version 1. So if you haven't watched it, you can go and watch it. It's only for my paid members right now, but if you're a paid member, you can watch it, or you can consider being a paid member, Fanatic or above. Just switch off the single time query toggle when setting up Supabase query to stream results in real time. Yeah, so actually Supabase, I think, made it super easy. They haven't like set if you already have Supabase table, do you have to enable the real time in Supabase? I think so. There is a check mark in your table and you need to enable it, or else I guess it will not going to work. Let me know in the comments below, but I think that is the case. Also, enable authentication for Supabase. You can now add able authentication to your app when using Supabase alongside email authentication and Google sign in. Remember, when you enable when you're dealing with Able authentication, make sure to also enable that inside the Supabase dashboard. Of course, if you don't enable it, it will of course not going to work. So this is what they're talking about: enable Google authentication and enable Able authentication right now. A lot of people are actually asking about that, so it's good that now it's finally here. This not only enhances your app sign-in options, but also ensures capabilities compiled with Apple's App Store guidelines, which requires Apple sign-in wherever Google sign-in is offered. See the setup instructions for details. Yeah, so a lot of apps are actually not accepted or denied because you have Google sign in, but you don't have Apple sign in, and they require it to have it. So that's a great improvement. And then moving on, we have searching the app settings. I already showed you that. It's over here. It's much a great improvement because I don't want to search, because the menu right now, it's getting like bigger and bigger like every month. So it's super to just write Supabase and you just go to the right place. So that's much appreciated. And then we have improved dependencies page. So if I go to the dependencies page, like I showed you, project dependencies, this is the page they're talking about. In the recent update, we introduced the project dependency page, enabling you to add Flow libraries, project as dependencies, and view Dart packages dependencies. Now now will expand this functionality to make the page even more useful. With the latest Flow version, you can add custom pub dependencies, Dart dependencies to your app, or adjust the version of existing dependency. Plus, Flow now provides helpful error message to prevent dependencies conflicts. The goal is to give you a centralized place for all your project dependencies and take any actions necessary to successfully build any run your project. My advice for you guys is, instead of when you're using your own dependencies, because those are full dependencies, when you're using your own dependencies, when you're adding dependency, always, for the version, I always write any, to be honest. So I always write any over here. So I would advise, every time I say that, I advise you to do the same. Also, it's much appreciated that right now you can actually click on that button and it's actually automatically redirecting you to the right dependencies, which is actually a great improvement. Much appreciated. Like I said, you should be able to override a package. I'm not sure, they're currently on the latest package, so I cannot catch them if there is the package that can be upgraded. All the packages that I see right now are the latest packages. So I just wanted to try with one of the packages, but right now Flow are at the cutting edge, and all the packages are actually the latest package. I cannot find any package that it's not the latest package over here. So this is, yeah, all the packages are the latest package. so I cannot show you, but I have already showed you. And the picture they have shown is that you can have this rectangle over here if you overwrite the version. So maybe we can try that. Maybe I can go over here, and maybe for whatever reason I may want to use version, let's say version 2. So if I add it, you actually see that this is not capable with further flow. You get errors, so please don't use that version. It's essentially what is actually they're telling you. So I'm going to actually delete that. But you can also, you can do that. And I think the idea is not to go backwards, like downgrade it. The idea, I think, it's to upgrade it. You also notice that when you add the custom pub dependencies in your page or in custom code editor, you see some dependencies show on each custom code resources. For example, you may have added your dependencies to use in a custom widget. However, it is still shown as a dependency in your custom action. This is because dependencies are added at the project level. I was actually very confused when actually they first changed that, because for some reason you are seeing all the dependencies in your custom code. So what I mean by that is, if I switch over here, if I go over here, right now I don't have any dependencies, but if I add a dependency over here, let's say I add this dependency over here, and if I go over here, you can actually on the other code that I have, you can actually see that I still have this dependency. I may not use it in this code, but I still have it, which is a little bit confusing to me. The old way it was actually working, that this code, the code that you're using with these dependencies was the only code that you actually see the dependencies, which for me personally was a little bit more organized than the current version. I'm talking about in the custom code. I really like the page that they built for the project dependencies, but for the custom code it's a little bit confusing to me. So, but they decided to do it that way. That is my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Theme library migration tool. We released a migration tool to help you migrate theme libraries to library projects. They're actually pushing a lot of libraries, so expect that in the next year, pushing libraries as well. You can see the guidelines over here. I guess that there are not a lot of people in theme like using theme accounts, so let me know. I'm not going into details about that. Know that it is advanced to commit changes to your project before doing the migration, so it's easy to revert any unexpected modifications. A note on Firebase storage changes. Last month, Firebase made some modifications to the storage for Firebase, and now you need a bronze pay-as-you-go to use cloud storage. Note that no-cost usage is still available, even at the bronze page. This means that you may need to change your plan to continue using further flow features that use cloud storage behind the scenes. For example, the upload file action and the upload signature action. So the idea is that on the when you open your Firebase console, on the bottom left there is your plan, and you need to switch it to bronze. Bronze means that you need to add your credit card, and you need to pay if you reach some point of a trash limit or whatever it's called. But to be honest, if you're searching for alternative, you don't have to search more or too much, because we have Supabase, right? So Supabase is still free. You have I think 1 gigabyte or something like that storage free, and it's easy as Firebase. So if you don't want to give your credit card to Firebase, you have to consider switching to Supabase. But also, if you are using Firebase for your database, it's actually self-explanatory to move to browse, because you need to use browse in order to have cloud functions as well. And to be honest, 99% of all the apps are using cloud functions as well. So yeah. Other improvements: enhanced testing and QA processes aiming to reduce bugs and regressions. Let's hope that's the case. Ability to specify image file type in the image widget allows to more reliable support SVG images by selecting SVG type. Fixed issues with settings the cursor position, and fix some bugs related to libraries. So let me actually jump into what is actually coming up next. So incorporated libraries into Marketplace, that's huge. I plan to submit some projects to the library as a library in the Marketplace. Let's see what will happen. Making every widget properly dynamic. To be honest, I'm still expecting like more information about it, what they mean by that, which widgets they plan to make more dynamic or every property dynamic. Fortunately, they're not saying much about that. It says branching, merging experience. What else can be done? But I guess they can do more about hooks for editing native code. That is actually something that I really appreciate, because here in this particular sentence, I think it's hiding the holy grail that we will be able to edit the manifest and the info pill list. Let's see if that is the case, and let's see when it will happen. I really hope that's the case, because a lot of pub dev packages from Flutter that I'm using, they are asking us to change those files, and currently we cannot do it in Flutterflow, which is shame. And then we have the fine-tuning magic cursor. To be honest, I have like access to magic cursors is a week or something like that, but I'm not allowed to show you the performance. But I can just say that I'm appreciating the time that the Flutterflow team is taking to fine-tune the magic cursor. I sent them some feedback, so let's hope that they will release a stable version of the magic cursor. In product release notes, that's much appreciated, and Flutterflow versioning. I'm not sure what they mean by Flutterflow versioning. Let me know in the comments below what you think they mean by that. And then finally, if you have a technical question or issue, you can book time with the Flutterflow developer. No, sorry, that is not working. I never made it to work. If you click on that, it will open the calendar, and no times are yet you can book. If you are one of the lucky ones that you have booked a time, let me know. So far, I don't think that someone has ever booked something. And in this weird community in Flutterflow, you have to scroll to the bottom in order to see the first comment. So let's actually read the comments from really fast. From bottom to top, because there are some interesting comments. It's great you have support for Flutterflow, but we need more features like filter and in Supabase filter. So yeah, I think Flutterflow said that they're going to work about that. So let's see. I expect this to come in the near future. Erkan said, absolutely, I was expecting to see after version 2. The Flutterflow team, this is what is the roadmap. Also, I was hoping that they see more actions available for the version 2, especially COA function. Disappointed to see only those actions, but the reason why I need to call a functions is especially the feature that pointed out, like filters. So to be honest, I think you can do it right now, because if you create a function, I'm not really sure, but if you create a function in Flutterflow, you should be able to call it with an API call. Let me know if I'm mistaken, but I think this is how you are supposed to do it. Okay, but how can I solve the issue of the two databases in my project? Firebase is used for notifications, while Supabase is used for other logic purposes. Now I encourage a problem with setting up RSS policies for tables. For example, I need an authorized user to be able to add and delete their own data. Yeah, so I don't think that this is the case. I don't think that the issue here is that you have two different databases. I think the issue here is that you have to set it up your RLS policies the right way. I think the policies are not correctly set up, so that's why you're getting that error. And Serge actually said, great, maybe I will migrate to Supabase. Super cool. And Fan Gang, I'm very bad with names, sorry about that if I'm not pronouncing the right name. I wish this came in 2 weeks ago. And another comment, thanks for the update, however it seems to have caused some other issue. I cannot open public projects. I don't know if that about this issue, but if you have the same issue, let me know in the comments. I just want to see how many people are affected by that. Implement the real time, but we need to action trigger on data change. And Leah from the Flow team said this is coming up, so let's like that. So they're still actually, you can see they're actively working on Supabase. It's not just that like release it and then leave it. So they're actually actively working on that. What I'm waiting for long time is debugger and intelligence, so the desktop version of Flow. If I'm writing custom code, I always have to switch to Visual Code Studio or web versioning of Flow. Would be nice to write code in a smoother way on a desktop. Yeah, I totally agree with that. They actually have the Visual Code Studio extension, which is great, but of course I prefer to have some basic, let's say, functionality in Flow that I can write code. Right now it's very dodgy, at least to say. For anyone using some custom code to subscribe to the real-time updates, here's the code that I have now. Works with the new version. Hopefully that's correct. It seems to work. I'm actually have some code on my own, so let's actually go to my code, the one that I currently using. I just want to see if it is relevantly the same. So we have the client, and then we have the channel, and I have on Postgre changes, yeah, it's almost the same. So we have the client, we have the table, we have on, and we have the on Postgre changes. So I think it's almost the same. I'm going to like that because yeah, I think this code should work. My code should work that I used in my video. As always, congratulations. May I ask about WASM? Those were presented FFDC. Yeah, great question. We have already launched a lot of performance improvements since for the FFDC that were mostly targeted at a really big instance of chunk. Those were most notable real large projects. Now you're turning our attention to more gradually lagging that affects more projects. We are investigating as it wasn't here. This is something we're actually working on now. I was just trying to keep the list, but the rest assume that we are actively working. So WASM, it's coming. They haven't forgot about that in an FFDC. Supabase version 2 was great. Thanks. I recognize that Flow automatically converts to version 1 to 2 a lot internally. If you're actually wondering about those changes, you can go to source code and you can go to you can go to the commits in my GitHub repo, and you can actually see the commits that they change in in Flow. So you can actually see what commits they change and what they change. And if you want to like stay in touch what is going on with the Flow source code, you can actually see it over here. This is coming from this command. And what else? So we have I encourage you a current issue about the equal, and yeah, I haven't like used it, so I can't confirm or deny that. So yeah, a few suggestions. This flow feature are fast developed. Kindly look into joins. Yeah, like I said, flow are thinking about implementing more features, but in the meantime, you can use views, and you can watch my videos how you can implement like joins and wherever you want actually. And finally, I just want to end up this video with all the people who are actually subscribed to my YouTube channel and are paid members, and especially I want to thanks to those two people, Klaturov and JSNA, that they're an elite user. If you want to be shout out and after every single video and have access to one of my projects every month that you are an elite user, you can actually get in touch with me or just be an elite user. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful. And don't forget to like and hit the bell so you don't miss the live session that I do every Wednesday. Thank you.